reservation with exactly with the door, and are we gonna leave steps, or is everybody gonna have to walk the ramp, you know, and that type of stuff? I mean, that's where engineers, you know, figure stuff out.
I'll make a motion that we ask Mr. Carter to enter the bid process with this.
Second.
We have a motion, and second, it's time for discussion. I do want to bring up, might be something we need to check on. The building's a national, is it registered?
Right.
Do we have to deal with anything as,
That's another reason I wanna go with the engineers, because I know that it's a historic registered building, but I don't know all of those ins and outs.
and then, the museum board, do they know anything about this as of yet?
I don't know, I mean,
I definitely want them involved.
I
Yeah.
understand. I'm not trying to push this, I just knew it was on one of the letters from Irma. You know, we get penalized when we don't take action.
Yep.
Since I had the opportunity to go to this training, I was just trying to bring it up.
Oh, yeah. I just don't want the museum board to read the paper that we're, you know, offering their building, they've put a lot of time and effort into the building, so.
But, you know, again, you know, I don't know all the historic registry, you know, type of requirements.
The motion, is there any more discussion regarding the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes.
Proceed on it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
That's to conclude our department reports. We'll move on into item A of old business, Dogtown expansion.
Well, it was all discussed at the last meeting, and basically, I think the council concurred for the most part, but we had to wait on it, because we were gonna take unbudgeted money, we had to wait till tonight to vote on it. I think the motion is to, I didn't bring my sheet, but it was like 21,000 some odd dollars or whatever, to be paid for out of the, part of it out of the foundation fund and the rest of it out of capital improvement fund. And I move that we undertake that project.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a breakdown in cost of who's funding what for the motions?
I don't have that.
We don't have the minutes either from previous meetings.
50/50.
No, we never did really decide
Using
that one
funds
thing.
for all the $10,000, I believe.
I think it was 10,000 and the balance out of the other,
Yeah.
out of capital improvement.
10,000 out of charity money, then the remainder out of the city's
Yes.
money.
So the plans for this have to be approved by the Department of Agriculture and
I don't think so.
so not to take, get that building up and then come find out it's not gonna pass.
Well, it's not really gonna be a building, it's just an expansion of the outside area.
Okay.
Move, increase the lot size, the only building, we did get a price of $2,200 and some dollars for a cover.
Cover over on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, just like the carport cover, what it would take.
But Kenny's right, it wouldn't hurt to just run it by, I forgot her name, the woman from the Department of Ag, just to
Well, I think,
inform her what we're doing.
I think she's expected to be in town this week.
Yeah,
And
we're
so,
going kind of show her what we're doing.
I'll get in touch with Tina, and I'm working some this week, but if I'm available, I'll be glad to go out and meet with her.
Mr. Hancock, seconded. Any other discussion? I will say this before we do vote, and I will make my objection known, but I will, I do not approve the expenditure of the city funds for this particular project. I don't mind the charity money going toward it, but, just wanna give you my position before we voted, so it won't be any surprises. All right, we'll go up to vote. All in favor of the motion to approve expanding the Dogtown, 10,000 from charity and the remaining balance of 11,000 from the city funds, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on into, item B. Vote on $10,000 from capital improvements to update radios in police and fire department. Is there anyone that's speaking about that?
Basically, to bring you up, police department have received a grant, $10,000, to do a portion of it. And they need an additional $5,000 to complete the project. We have the same radio system, however, there's no grant in on the fire emergency management side. So in order to bring the radios we have up, we have the $5,000, we're asking for a match of $10,000 to the grant, where we can get the police and the fire up on this Missouri statewide interoperability network. As we migrate over to it, somewhere on down the road, it can be a cost savings to the city because we're now running off of a tower and a repeater that the state maintains.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any discussion?
Just have one question to John. As I understand it, the police are gonna need like, what, 12 to 15, is that what you're saying? And then you can do the fire department for like 5 or 6?
Ours is basically installation and programming.
And so that 5 or 6 will cover it? So, I'm not sure, we weren't clear on the figures. So does that sound right?
Yes,
And I know when we talked about it before, it was, they needed a little bit more than 10, which that, I think that's what you said, right? They were, the police needed more than 10.
Yes.
So we're looking at how much total there?
10,000.
Yeah.
So that is accurate then, okay.
The rest
Fire
will
and
come later.
police, right?
Yes.
One question.
You got a
is this-
question?
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Wheeler.
Or no,
How much was the figure?
Okay, you got the 10,000 grant, right?
Right.
And then he's asking for an additional 10, so that'd be 20 total to spend. And that's why I was saying, if the police was gonna be 12,
Well, our request, we said, I mean, what we gave you last week, we gotta have 12,000.
right, and so that
We
would be
got a
8.
grant for the 10,000, so, whatever extra he's needing.
Yeah. What I was looking at is up to 10,000. That would make sure that we did get all the radios in the police and fire installed and programmed.
So you're saying 22,000,
20.
No.
20,000?
Yeah.
Are you counting
I'm counting 12.
12 in addition to your 10?
No,
Yeah, I know, we're asking for a total of 10, which is in addition to the 10 that you have.
so as long as we hit my 12, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna make sure that the grant gets taken care of.
You get 12 and he gets 8.
We may not need
Fire
that.
department.
up to,
Yeah.
So as long as that'll cover it, that's all we wanna make sure.
And we were taking this out of capital?
Yes, sir. Is this an item that could have been budgeted? Or is it just a
No,
spontaneous grant?
this was on the grant we
It's
fixed.
just a spontaneous grant?
What's happened over the years, we've gotten several radios on this Moswing grant free. But when you got the radios, then the programming and setting radios up was at your expense and was quite expensive. And so we've got these radios that we, you know, with budgets being cut in the past and not always making our budgets. And we've got radios that are sitting there that we need to finish programming and all in order to get them into service. And so, you know, while we're asking to do this, we're looking at doing it as a joint effort to get both departments over onto this Missouri statewide interoperability network. It allows us to be able to talk to Highway Patrol, the FBI, there's a lot of federal agencies on it.
Well, I agree, I understand
and
that
stuff
part. I
like
didn't know
that,
if it was like a grant just popped up, we had,
Well, they had applied for a grant through the law enforcement side.
okay. Any other discussion? All in favor of approving the $10,000 from capital improvements to update radios and police and fire, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item C is a website update. I believe this has to do with the memo that you have in your packet. One from Tim Trowbridge, Rick.
Yes, it was brought up last, meeting, but nothing was really done on it. And, you know, a lot of comments about our website just really not being where it should be, so, this really isn't that, cost out of line in order to have this done.
What were we paying before to have it maintained? What were we
We
paying?
haven't been.
It hadn't been maintained.
Yeah, that's
Before.
why it's.
What has been done, Tim has done it, right?
Before,
And
before we swapped over to the design, we were paying $50 a month to just keep it online. We were contracted with a company from Malden. We have since changed that over and we do not pay any monthly fee. But there's no one to change the pictures or update the minutes, whatever it may be.
I think $100 a month would be cheap to get that done, and I think it needs to be done. That's, a lot of times, the first impression people have of Kennett's that website. It's, leaves a little bit desired right now.
Where would you all like to pull this money, or where would you like to pull this money from if you decide to do such?
It's a good question, Mayor. I don't know.
Should come out of somewhere out of the administrative budget, I would think. They don't have much budget sheets with me to know what the status is, but,
Should fall in GA,
huh?
should fall in general administrative.
Is there any money there?
Yeah.
There is some money there?
Well, we had just, the clerk was just advising me that they had collected $9,000 in delinquent taxes that we otherwise were counting on this from a year or two ago. That would easily cover this year plus more if you so choose to go that direction.
Did you make a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion that we do this, and we'll split that at $125 a month.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second to compensate Captain Trowbridge $125 a month to maintain the city website. Do you all have any, well, that's the motion on the floor. Any discussion?
Second.
Do you have a second?
We need a second.
I second it.
Nick,
Councilman Weatherwack seconded. Do you all have anything, stipulations that you want done every month? Or do you
I
want
don't
to
know
sign up
about,
somebody?
I don't know about every month, but we definitely he needs to understand that it's off-duty work.
Yeah, that's in the memo. He says that in
It's
the
in the
memo.
memo, but I mean,
Yeah.
We need to establish what department this is gonna fall under as well, where this is this gonna be?
general administrative.
Yeah, okay, so it would be associated with Diane's department?
I believe it would be
Okay.
most appropriate.
All right.
I think it'd be nice to have council updates, meeting, meeting times, places
Oh, yeah,
updated.
we need it.
Department heads, all that stuff needs to be
Yeah.
updated. Last time I looked, it still
The
showed
budget.
good pay.
Show the budget,
Yeah, we control our things.
It's public information and easy access to the public. So, okay, well, we have an idea, we can express that. Yeah, Mr. Carter?
I think the category that needs to be on there will be any bidding we do. I've been contacted by many contractors and say it's not on our website.
There's a tab on there, it's just no information,
Yeah, I mean,
so that'd be good.
I'll share with the council, a situation just came up. I had a phone call from a lady who was moving to Kennett. And she was questioning why the ordinance that we passed on the dogs did not show up on there. And she was very adamant that had she known that she couldn't bring her pets to Kennett, she wouldn't have moved to Kennett. And it wasn't on there, it wasn't updated. So I assured her that the ordinance had been passed, and it was a simple matter of getting it updated. But I think these things don't impact people, but listening to this lady, it was gonna impact her pretty doggone hard.
And just for clarification, the updates on the code are done by Sullivan Publications, who publishes our code. They're the ones responsible for that periodically. They do make updates. So that really wouldn't, what we're doing right here would not affect that. They're not going to be done updated automatically, but Sullivan Publications will be responsible for the updating of the code.
But we could put an item in there that this was passed.
We could certainly put, and other cities do it, we could certainly put a separate item in there on recently passed ordinances and put copies of the ordinances in there, and other cities do that. It just might not be part of the code update, as those are only done periodically.
My understanding of the pay from this is gonna be a separate check, or is it gonna be added to monthly salary? That he already has, or, I mean, in case he decides to drop out of it, and we find someone else or whatever, it's separate.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion passes. We'll move to new business. Approval of council to revise the temporary transitional duty policy. That is also in your packet.
This policy is already in the personnel handbook, but evidently it is not worded the way that Myrma wants to see it. So this is their suggestion of a policy. So this just needs to be shown as being updated.
I'd like to see it. You know, we talked at length about some changes here recently. I'd like to know where they're reflected. I don't have a problem approving this, but I need more time to read it and study it and compare it to the old one.
Does it have to be done tonight?
No, I was just trying to get it approved before he came this month, but no, it doesn't have to be done tonight.
You can advise him that it's under consideration. You need to correct that heading up at the top also.
It looked very minor. Some of it looked like it was just in the setup and all, but, just trying to do what they want. So this will be tabled.
Tabling this item, we'll move on to item B, approval of council cell phone policy. Again, it's in your packet.
Is there any way we could,
Which needs to be
yeah, is there any way we
changed.
could table that till next council meeting also?
Was this one, is this recommended by Myrna, this policy?
This one came from City Light, Gas and Water, but they do want us to have a cell phone policy.
So Kenneth, you asked us to table it to next meeting?
If we can, we can change.
You know, I look at even the government, DOT, Department of Transportation allows truckers to use a hands-free device. There are times that might be a hindrance, not that.
You about to say something?
Well, one thing I was gonna say, I think this, you know, we need to start with this, but eventually, and I thought we had already done that, but eventually we need to have an expanded policy on the use of, city-issued cell phones if there are, which we don't have. We also need to have a policy on the use of those.
Okay. So wish of the council to table this proposal?
I think so, because I know, the police department, they got a mic, they may be answering the call or dispatch or whatever else, which is, it's not a whole lot different than a cell phone. I mean, they're communicating and they've got their hands off the wheel or whatever else.
And a lot of people listen to that.
Yeah, I think, Chief, just go ahead and
Well, there's just certain things, the way this is here, that'll lock us down to, we can't do it or we're gonna get terminated, where there's certain situations, emergencies or whatever, or investigations we're running that we're on hands-free or whatever, and we just need to change some of the language. I mean, our guys now, you know, our policy is anyway, you know, we don't use it. If it's extended conversation, pull off. But, if it's locked down to this here, that can cause some problems.
Do they have hands-free capabilities in the car?
Yeah, most officers do, or we can do the speaker, plus, you know, we got things to put them on. But,
But you do have a policy that like they don't drive around having
Right,
personal
anytime you got
conversations.
extended conversation, they're off on the side of the road.
All right, well, this item will be tabled, and will be brought up next council meeting along with item A. Item C, demolition issue.
Okay, we ran into a problem, I guess you're talking about the housing demolition, right, is that what? We ran into a problem with, the person that we gave the contract to is not gonna be able to fulfill it. Mr. Moe talked to him, I also talked to him, there was just a problem with him being able to get the insurance. So, we met tonight, the Public Safety Committee met tonight, and we are recommending that we go with, the other bid that is from David Ross. It's for $47,000, $47,700, and, we're recommending, I don't know if we need, I guess we need to vote then to extend the contract to him. And, because we'd like to get this done.
Need a motion.
Need a motion, I guess, is that correct, Terry? We need a motion. Sorry. Okay. Yes, we need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to, move forward with the demolition with Ross Trucking Farms. Any discussion? This is for how many properties? 11? I guess we have to have that in motion, 11.
They're on that sheet.
11 properties.
11 properties.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item E, contract for 4th of July fireworks. It's that time of year when we book the Cosmic Incorporated out of Poplar Bluff for a firework display. I just need a motion that, I need a council to approve. So do we even have a amount?
No.
Well, I need the council to figure out how much they would like to contribute to fireworks, if any.
Usually
Usually we do it for around $5,000.
that's our part, plus the 5,000.
We've actually approved $5,000, but the money's always been donated to the city, we never spent the money.
Motion.
We have a motion to approve $5,000 from where?
Second.
Or would you like for it to come out of?
Where's it come from?
Donations?
Where did it get approved from? Whatever.
General
Not the
administrative.
donation.
Administrative. Alright.
Kind of early for us to be talking about it.
A little early, it's a little cold for that 4th of July firework mosquito
They
fest.
have to make their order overseas, so that's why they're wanting it by, I think, March.
It would be coming out of, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it came out of tourism.
I know it's come out of there in the past.
I think that's where we got it, from tourism.
It's come out of tourism.
I think you're right, Mayor.
Tourism.
Tourism sounds great.
Is that second also?
You agree with that?
I agree, that is a tourism expense.
Okay, we have a motion and second, and it's also recommended from the chamber, it sounds like. Any discussion regarding this amount? All in favor say aye.
All right.
All opposed? That motion will pass.
Mayor, what about item D?
Item D, I purposely skipped item D.
After discussing with our attorney, what this was about, we're not having the merchants to get their license, even though there is no cost. I guess they think they don't have to have one anymore, but what we've determined is that we'll just do like a mass mailing to the merchants and for the renewal date of May.
Is there any way we can email that and save on postage?
If you had
We
email
don't have
from-
no email addresses, but
Is that something that's chamber?
You run those around for us,
Let
drop
them
them off.
know?
I'll do it. All right.
The businesses or?
maybe you put it in your newsletter.
like in the calendar.
Yes.
If I could, there's some misconceptions also out there. People think they don't need building permits either because there's not a fee associated with that.
I didn't know that.
We've been confronted with that this week, and a project was done and completed,
Oh, no.
and we just found out about it, and they said, well, we thought they were done away with. No, you still need building permits.
Found that out too.
Maybe we should start charging for them again. I want people to remember again.
No, we don't need it. License, city stickers in March.
An emotional.
Okay, fireworks been approved, correct?
Yes.
All right. We're gonna move on to, see, a little bit of good word here. We'll read the letter. I've been asked to share with City Council the gratitude of the municipal court for the efforts of the Kennett PD in 2014. The year was one of the many opportunities for our city department to get over challenged and go into maintenance mode. Instead, KPD took on the added challenge of improving the security and efficiency of the municipal court session. Solution is a low-key, low-cost, but very effective solution. Also of note is the consistent increase in the timely service and return of municipal court warrants. Director Malott, Chief Dennis, Captain Trowbridge, and other men and women of the KPD deserve special recognition and appreciation for these efforts. This is signed by Judge Maurer. So, I'll make that the report. We'll go on to public comments. Anyone here tonight would like to speak to the council? Since not any, I appreciate your all's attendance, and we're going to adjourn for 5 minutes and come back on the closed session.